Hello everyone, I'm Jenny O'Reilly Jones, and today I'll be walking you through the survey tool that you will be using during the homeless count. I'll also be highlighting some important notes for you to keep in mind about particular questions and the structure of the survey along the way. So let's go ahead and get started. First, we're going to cover some logistics of the survey tool. The survey will be administered using your mobile device, such as a smartphone or tablet. The mobile survey is streamlined with built-in skip logic for certain questions. This means you will automatically be directed to the next question based on the respondent's answer. This year, we will not be providing a paper version of the survey, and the mobile survey app will be the only way to access the survey. Within the app, there are two different versions of the survey, the full survey and the observation-only survey, which I'll explain in further detail shortly. The survey will also be available in both English and Spanish within the app. As in past years, we are once again using the ArcGIS Survey 123 app, which you will need to download from the App Store of your mobile device. Survey 123 is a GIS-enabled platform which allows us to identify the precise location of each survey upon submission. You will not be able to access the survey through your internet browser. You will need the app to access the demo version of the survey that you will practice on, and the final version of the survey which you will use during the count. The demo survey will be available for use until the morning of the first day of the count, when it will be deactivated. There will be two different ways for you to access the final version of the survey. On the day of the count, you'll receive an email in the morning containing a direct link and a QR code to the survey. Either one will get you there. It's just a matter of user preference. The final survey will be activated and go live later in the evening, just before the start of your shift. Please do not share the survey link or QR code with anyone other than the team members in your assigned zone to maintain data integrity. Once you've downloaded and opened the Survey 123 app, you'll select the Continue Without Signing In option. You will also be prompted to allow the app to access your camera and location. I recommend allowing access to your camera if you plan to scan the QR code to access the survey, but it is not required. Please make sure that you select the option to allow Survey 123 to use your location when using the app. This is necessary to record and plot the exact location of each person you count. Once you've done this, you'll be directed to a blank dashboard that looks like the image on the left. Now it's time for you to load the survey onto your dashboard. To do this, you will either scan the QR code by clicking on the circled icon on the top right-hand area of your dashboard, or you can follow the link we've provided. Whichever way you decide to access the survey, it will automatically populate, and you will be displayed with the introduction statement and question. The survey will then be saved to your dashboard and will be available for continued use once you submit your first survey. Now you're fully set up within the app to begin. Now we'll briefly go over some survey basics before we move forward. This one is important, so make sure to take note of it. You should read each question to the participant, but do not read the responses they can choose from. Just ask the question and let the participant respond in their own words. There is one exception to this rule, which is the question that asks about long-term health conditions. For this question, you will read off each option one by one and wait for the respondent to answer yes or no for each as you go down the list. For all other questions, select the option that best matches the response provided by the participant. It is important that you answer all of the questions, including the volunteer information questions. Otherwise, the system will not allow you to submit the survey. You'll notice that throughout the survey, you will have the option to select dropped out for each question. This gives the participant the opportunity to end the survey at any time if they wish. If you click dropped out, you will automatically be redirected to the survey end statement, and you will be asked to complete the volunteer information questions. If a participant drops out early in the survey, when you're collecting the demographic information, follow the guidance provided under the question to collect the remainder of the demographic information based on observation. As I mentioned earlier, there are two versions of the survey, The full survey is to be completed whenever possible if the participant you are talking to is willing to engage. The full survey will automatically begin once you select yes to the first question, which asks if the participant is experiencing homelessness. We emphasize completing the full survey whenever possible because it allows for optimal data collection and creates a unique identifier for each person that we can use to deduplicate if needed. If a full survey is not possible, you can select an observation-only survey. Some examples of when you would complete an observation-only survey are when a person declines to participate, or if a person is sleeping in an area that may be unsafe or inaccessible to volunteers. There are some instances when you should not survey someone, such as if they indicate they've already been surveyed, or you or one of your team members has already surveyed them in your previous shift, or if the person tells you they are not homeless. Do not complete an observation-only survey if someone states that they are not experiencing homelessness, even if you are pretty sure they are. Whether you choose to access the survey through the QR code or direct link, you will automatically be taken to this opening statement. You can read exactly what is on the introduction screen, or you can paraphrase the greeting in your own words, but please remember to read each survey question as you see it word for word. The most important thing to confirm during your greeting is if the person is currently experiencing homelessness. If they decline to participate, you will be directed to complete an observation-only survey. If they indicate they are experiencing homelessness and are willing to participate, you will be directed to the full survey. So here I'm going to go over some navigation basics of the survey tool. Most questions will automatically populate on the same screen for you based on the response you select. Some questions will allow you to select more than one response. To advance to the next question or return to a previous question, you will need to scroll up and down on your screen. Some questions prompt you to enter a text answer. To advance, once you've entered the text, you will need to select the Done button on your keyboard. Do not select the checkmark icon on the bottom right-hand portion of your screen until you have completed the volunteer information section and are ready to submit the final survey. There are some questions that allow you to select an other response and should be utilized when the participant provides an answer that does not fall within any of the other selections. If you would like to utilize this option, click on the Other response. A separate text box will appear and you'll be prompted to type in your answer. Once you type in your answer, click on the Done button to advance to the next question, not the check mark. Remember, the checkmark icon should only be selected when you are ready to submit the survey. So now I'll be going through and highlighting some key points about the survey for you to keep in mind as you go along. Surveys can be conducted in either English or Spanish. To switch between languages, you will use the option at the top right-hand corner of the survey, which looks like a hamburger button or 3 stacked lines. When clicked on, you will see the English and Spanish options. The survey defaults to the English option, but you can switch between languages at any point during the survey. The second question in the survey asks where the person will be sleeping that night, if you're asking the question on Wednesday, or where they slept last night, if you're asking the question on Thursday. The survey includes all areas in Pasadena we expect you to encounter as a volunteer. If you click on one of the options that have an X next to it as shown here, it will automatically end the survey for you, because these are people who either do not meet the HUD definition of homelessness, or they will be counted in a separate sheltered count by our homeless service providers. I recommend you familiarize yourself with all these options by practicing using the demo survey. Further along in the survey, you'll be prompted to ask whether the participant has any minor children living with them. If an adult participant responds yes to this question, you will ask the total number of children that are staying with them, and if there is another adult present. If there is another adult present, you will ask for their initials, which will help our data analyst to link the two surveys together on the back end. Make sure a separate survey is conducted for each adult member of the household. If you encounter a family with children, at the end of the survey, you will be prompted to ask one of the adults' demographic questions, including gender and race, for each child. If there are multiple adults present, only one adult should answer the demographic questions on behalf of the children. Make sure you communicate with your team members to determine who will be answering the questions about the children. There are a couple of questions within the survey, such as participants' age, that are autocomplete selections. This means you can type a response into the text box. An autocomplete function will assist with narrowing down the number of available selections. Then you select the answer from the drop-down menu to advance to the next question. You will not be able to advance to the next question without selecting an answer. If a person declines to provide an answer or drops out of the survey, follow the instructions provided underneath the question to continue. Again this year, ethnicity and race are combined into a single question. You will ask participants which ethnicity and racial groups they identify with. Please be sure to select as many ethnicities or races as they indicate. Only select the prefer not to say / not sure option if the participant declines to give their ethnicity or race. If you're completing an observation-only survey, you'll be asked if there are any identifying characteristics of the person you're surveying before recording your location. You're not required to include anything here, but please utilize this section if you feel like there could be something helpful to reduce potential duplication. Identifying characteristics should be specific to physical appearance, such as having a beard, braided hair, or a red jacket. The long-term health condition question is the only question where you will read each of the responses to the participant. You will start by reading the entire question, and then read off each response one by one and select all of the health conditions the participant indicates they have. Only record what the participant says they have, not based on your own assumptions as the surveyor. You have the ability to select multiple responses for this question. So as an example, you'll start by saying, have you ever been told or do you think that you might have any of the following permanent or long-term health conditions? And then proceed by asking a physical disability and wait for a yes or no response. If they say yes, select the response. If they say no, move on and ask a developmental disability, and so on. Repeat this until you have read all of the options to the participant. The last few questions within the full survey have to do with the vaccine strike team. Participants can elect to have a specialized outreach team come to their location to administer a COVID-19, flu, and/or hepatitis A vaccine. The team can also distribute Narcan overdose reversal kits. If a person would like to receive any of these options, there will be an additional question which asks them to provide a phone number. Providing a phone number is optional, however, it could help the vaccine strike team locate them more easily. Once you have completed all the survey questions, click on the arrow to the left of the drop-down menu entitled Volunteer Information. Here you will be prompted to pinpoint your location, select your volunteer zone, select your name within the list of volunteers, and enter your approximate location. Click on the date to confirm the date and time. For Survey 123, to gather your location, you will click on the GPS button, which looks like a small target. It may appear to be flashing a couple times once you click it, which means it is attempting to pull your location. Then, once you have been located, a map with coordinates will appear below. This means your location has been found and you can proceed with choosing the zone you have been assigned. In the event the GPS is not able to acquire your location, you have the ability to click on the map icon to the right of the GPS button and manually locate yourself. Proceed by zooming into where you are located and a blue pin marker should appear. The blue pin marker signifies your location. Once you have located yourself, click the check mark in the bottom right-hand corner and that location will be passed to the survey. Then you will be ready to proceed to the next question. As I mentioned, this option should only be used if the GPS is not picking up a location for you. If the app consistently is unable to pull your location when using the GPS option, please verify that your location is turned on in your device's settings. It is also crucial to fill out your volunteer zone and name correctly. Volunteer names are each tied to a particular volunteer zone. You will need to click the zone in which you are assigned. Once a zone has been selected, volunteer names that have been matched with that zone will appear as an option. In the event your name is not displayed in the dropdown, proceed with the Not Listed option and manually enter your full name. Even though the survey will have GIS compatibility, we are still asking volunteers to input your location information manually, like in past years, so we can confirm the accuracy of the system. This is very important and something we have had to contact volunteers about every year during the count. Please be as specific as possible when recording your location by including the site of the street you are on if you are bordering another zone or are on the city border. Include the corner of the cross streets or intersection you're on, or any defining landmarks. If you're on the corner of Marengo and Walnut, we need you to specify exactly which corner you are on. Is it the northwest or the southeast corner? This is important because the zones border each other. If you are at a common location, such as a Starbucks or a Subway, please explicitly state which one you are at and don't just type Starbucks. There are oftentimes multiple Starbucks locations within a particular zone, and we don't know which one you are at based on a generic location. On the night of the count, we will be monitoring responses as they come in, and we will call you directly if we notice discrepancies in your location information. Once you complete the survey and enter the requested volunteer information, you will need to click on the check mark in the bottom right corner of your screen in order for your response to be recorded in the system. If you click on the check mark and have missing responses, you will automatically be redirected to the first missing question that requires an answer. From there, you will go through and fill in any responses as needed as directed by the system. Once all errors are fixed and you click the check mark at the bottom right corner of your screen, you will be displayed with the following screen and should select the Send Now option. Please do not save the survey in your outbox unless your signal drops and you're unable to submit, which we do not foresee as being an issue. After you select the Send Now button, you will be displayed with a screen similar to this as the survey is processed on the back end and is sent through the GIS server. This may take a few seconds to complete. Once your survey has been successfully submitted, you will automatically be redirected to the My Survey 123 dashboard where the survey has been saved. To start a new survey, click on the Homeless Count Survey 2025 icon and press Collect to begin as seen on the screen. To close us out, I'd like to point out important aspects of the Survey 123 app for you to be aware of. It is crucial that you double-check your precise location is enabled within the app so your survey response can be recorded in GIS. Remember, you'll be prompted to give the app access to your location once you download and open it for the first time. To confirm the app has access to your location, go into your settings and locate the Survey 123 app. Click on the location icon and ensure the While Using the App option is selected and the Precise Location option is toggled on as seen on the screen. If the app is not able to access your location, you will see this message displayed or an exclamation mark through the satellite symbol at the top right of your screen. If this happens, repeat the steps on the last slide to turn your location on within the app so your surveys are recorded accurately. If you click the X at the top of the left-hand corner of the survey, you will be displayed with a screen that contains 3 options. You can either continue the survey or close it, which will erase all of your responses. Be careful not to select this option by accident if you have collected responses already. Do not save your survey to drafts. Now you can go ahead and use this test link or scan the QR code to familiarize yourself with the survey tool and do a couple of practice rounds of both the full survey and the observation-only survey. If you have any questions specific to the survey or if you need technical assistance as you navigate the app, please contact Daniel Cole from the Pasadena Housing Department via email at dcole@cityofpasadena.net. Thank you, and we look forward to a successful count with you this year.